5 key Vols to watch for when Tennessee faces the Georgia Bulldogs on Saturday. We get rolling. It's the 5 Vols to watch for against the Dogs. Let's get going. We're going to play 4 downs in this way. We're going to separate out where players will be key. Okay? Because there's 3 individual players, and then our 4th down involves 2 players on opposite sides of the ball, but that represent what will decide this game. So again, 4 downs, the 5 key Vols to watch for against the Georgia Bulldogs. First, without Dave here, I'm going to tee up the soundboard, and that soundboard usually that he has that I don't have involves Cooper Mays teeing off 4 downs. And so I'm going to do my Cooper Mays imitation. I'm sorry, here it comes. Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe. Thank you, Coop. Alrighty, Cooper Mays asking you guys to hit like and subscribe. Me channeling Dave's magical soundboard. All right. 5 key Vols to watch for against Georgia. Coop here. First down. Number 5, Arian Carter. Arian Carter is the leader of the defense. He got beat in coverage a couple of times against ETSU on Saturday on a scripted drive by Will Healy. That can't happen against Georgia, obviously. Arian Carter overall is elite. He could be an All-American linebacker. He's an incredible player. The guy's elite at stopping the run. He will be the anchor for the defense. Tennessee wants to be able to force Gunnar Stockton to make as many mistakes as possible. Arian Carter will be crucial to that happening, okay? It is important for Arian Carter to make sure that happens. So Arian Carter will absolutely be key to all of this. If Arian Carter doesn't show up and ball out and look like a superstar, Tennessee is going to have trouble, okay? So that's the biggest deal, is that Arian Carter has to be Arian Carter. He's got to do all the stuff he needs to do. Arian Carter, again, is the anchor of the defense. Tennessee is honoring one of the most legendary defensive leaders in school history on Saturday, and John Henderson, who was an elite leader for the 2000 and 2001 Tennessee football teams. Arian Carter has to channel a leader like that if he has a chance to be in that pantheon, guys. He's very, very, very talented. When you combine his talent and his leadership and the fact that he's an in-state guy who clearly loves Tennessee, Arian Carter has a chance to go in a pantheon of elite Tennessee football players with John Henderson and Tal. That's who he should channel. Also, who he could channel as a linebacker. When the last time Tennessee had a big, gigantic September game like this that they won, that was so memorable, was 1998 Florida. We all know what happened there when Tennessee beat Florida 20-17. That was another linebacker, Al Wilson, who forced 3 fumbles and was the player of the week. Just absolutely balled out. The greatest defensive performance in the history of Tennessee football that day, 1998 Florida. That's what Arian Carter needs to channel when they face Georgia. Arian Carter will be crucial. Cooper Mays here. Suck it down. Thank you, Coop. Okay. Everybody's going to talk about Joey Aguilar. And everybody's going to talk about the running game. And everybody's going to talk about the receiving core. But the most important player on this team for Tennessee in this game is Mike Matthews. It is true, despite what I said last segment about Kirby Smart's scheme, I think being a little overrated. It is true that one of the biggest problems for Tennessee against Georgia is they have not had the wideouts to be able to get separation from Georgia's one-on-one corners and corners one-on-one, and that allows Kirby Smart to play one-on-one on the outside. He doesn't have to disguise his coverage because he knows that his corners, he has done in the past, that they were good enough to stick with Tennessee's receivers down the field. Mike Matthews could be the biggest difference of that of all time. It's not about the slot receivers. Jalen Hyatt was fast enough to beat guys. Squirrel White was, and even Braylon Staley is this year. The key to Heupel's offense, though, is your wideouts. One of your wideouts has to be fast enough to get separation in one-on-one coverage. And Mike Matthews is the first true wideout Tennessee has had since Heupel has been at Tennessee to be able to do that. He has got to be able to get separation. And Joey Aguilar can then throw it up to him to make plays just like he did on that jump ball last week. If Mike Matthews can get separation, it changes the entire complexion of the game. Now, the new wrinkles, because Georgia played 2 safeties over the top when they would try to beat when they beat Tennessee, they would play a bit of a cover 2 man. There will be spots over the middle, But if Mike Matthews is beating the corners on the outside, Kirby Smart will have to completely change his scheme. That will affect how everything else goes for the offense. So Mike Matthews is absolutely crucial for Tennessee. There's a chance that if Kirby Smart is testing him, Mike Matthews ends up with 150 yards receiving. I'm dead serious. Mike Matthews is huge for Tennessee. He will be gigantic in this game. I'm sitting here right now saying throw the ball up, throw it up, hope he comes down with it. And I think Mike Matthews he's got barn burner speed that Cedric Tillman nor Brew McCoy had even before Brew McCoy got hurt. So that is why Mike Matthews is the guy they need to target as much as possible. Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down. Oh, well, thank you, Coop. Third down is this. Colton Hood. Now, by association, Ty Redmond and Jalen McMurray are on here, but obviously Colton Hood's going to be tested. Jamal McCoy and Ricky Gibson III being out means Colton Hood has got to look like the potential Jamal McCoy replacement that he has looked since transferring from Colorado at this through 2 games this year. Colton Hood has got to be able to be a potential lockdown corner that he's looking like he could be. Gunnar Stockton has shown many issues throwing the ball for Georgia this year. That's a good sign for Tennessee. He's struggled with them since he stepped in. Not since he stepped in during the SEC title game, but since the college football playoff last year. Tennessee had hope with Ricky Gibson, or at least Jamal McCoy being fully healthy. They'd hope to have Jamal McCoy back and Ricky Gibson not get hurt against Syracuse to have that advantage over Gunnar Stockton's issues. That's not there. They're going to other backup cornerbacks. But Colton Hood has shown a lot of promise. This is his chance. If he balls out on Saturday and shuts down the passing attack that Gunnar Stockton has had trouble with, it will be one of the biggest portal moves Josh Heupel ever made in the offseason. A spring portal edition. It will be huge. Colton Hood will be crucial. 4 downs, again, brought to you by Tagline Ford Lincoln, your home for the finest vehicles in Knoxville, new and used, East Tennessee's largest Ford and Lincoln volume dealer.
A beacon of hope in a world of high prices. Look to the skies, Knoxville. Super savings is here. Ted Russell Ford is East Tennessee's #1 volume Ford dealer.
Right now, get 0% APR, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on select models, plus 2 years complimentary maintenance.
Come see the super dealer today at either Ted Russell Ford location, Parkside Drive, or Kingston Pike.
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. 4th down. 4th down is going to involve 2 players, and I'm going to set them apart for different reasons, but it's in the trenches. Nobody would deny that where Georgia has had Tennessee's number over the past 4 years is in the trenches. That's where the difference comes in the end on talent in SEC ball. The team that is really the dominant one is the one that is winning the line of scrimmage on every play, and that's where Georgia wins. So, with that said, number 2 on my list, Jesse Perry, the shockingly emergent offensive lineman for Tennessee beyond any of the other ones. Jesse Perry stepping in at right tackle right now because David Sanders Jr. has been hurt, was the highest graded PFF offensive lineman last week. Now, it was against ETSU, but still, we heard all the talk about Jesse Perry in the offseason. I wrote him off. I was wrong. This dude looks elite. If Sanders is back, they'll move him inside. He'll still be key. And this is still going to be crucial for Tennessee's running game and their passing attack. Jesse Perry's utility abilities as an offensive lineman, believe it or not, make him a crucial player in this game. Maybe one of the most important players for Tennessee. I can't believe I'm saying that because, I had him written off. So Jesse Perry is going to be critical for the Vols in this game. If Jesse Perry... Now, don't get me wrong. Lance Hurd's got to do his job in pass protection at left tackle. At left guard, yeah, if Jesse Perry's not at left guard, if he's still at right tackle in place of David Sanders Jr., then Wendell Moe Jr. and Shamrod Umarad, both at left and right guard, have to do their jobs, and Sam Pendleton has to do his job in the middle. But if Perry does move back inside and Umarov goes to the bench and David Sanders comes at right tackle, then David Sanders has to be elite in his first start. I don't know if that'll happen. But either way, Jesse Perry is an anchor of this line right now. He's been a breakout player. He's going to be huge. So Jesse Perry is on this list. And number 1, the most important player on this game, Bryson Eason. That's right, Bryson Eason. Let me explain why. Georgia, right now, while we're all talking about Jamal McCoy and Ricky Gibson III being out, I wrote that Tennessee still has the injury edge over Georgia because of Georgia's injuries on the offensive line. Juan Gaston and Ernest Greed both missed the Austin Peay game due to injury. Kirby Smart has not fully updated their status. They're both offensive linemen. Georgia is obviously thin already on the offensive line because Ernest Green is a true freshman, okay? Meaning that, I'm sorry, not Juan Gaston. Juan Gaston is a true freshman. Juan Gaston is a true freshman. You're going to a true freshman and you've got what Kirby Smart's been ruling, then you have issues on the offensive line. And if that guy's still hurt, you're even thinner. So there are real questions of Georgia on the offensive line. Vegas dramatically moved the line from 7 to 3.5 in favor of Tennessee, which I talked about yesterday. And my speculation was that Tennessee was having a lot of bettors in the state moving it because Tennessee sports betting is legal and it's not legal in Georgia. My also speculation was that, they looked at the analytical rankings. The FPI is now favoring Tennessee to beat Georgia, 51.5%, 48.5%. All that being said, look, I know they're not supposed to, but I've always believed Vegas has insiders, and I believe they have insiders in Georgia that say Juan Gaston and Ernest Green are not healthy, and even if they are, they won't be 100% in this game on Saturday. So with that in mind, the number one most important player is Bryson Eason for Tennessee because the issues and the injuries on Georgia's offensive line make it crucial that the interior defensive line of Tennessee blow up everything for Georgia. And with Jackson Moy either coming back from injury or missing the game, I think he'll just be coming back. With David Hobbs still likely out, Bryson Eason is the one true interior defensive lineman with experience who can blow up everything for Georgia, and he needs to make a ton of plays. He needs to get the push in the middle to free up guys like Tyree Weston, Dominic Bailey, and also to free up the edge rushers like Joshua Josephs to be able to make big plays. It will come down to Bryson Eason. So Bryson Eason, of all people, is the most important player in this game for Tennessee football.